Hi YouTube, just posting a quick video here on these motor mounts on the driver's side. This is on a 2013 Chevy Silverado four-wheel drive. A couple of things to help you get this job done a little bit quicker is one, remove the heat shield from the exhaust manifold, okay? And then when you go to take the mount out, I have it here, you'll be able to access these three from the top side, and you can run these bolts out. They look like this right here, and it's easier to use an air gun if you can, or a cordless with long extensions, and you can get those out. Once you get those out and you got your heat shield off, you also want to remove the driver's side tire and this inner fender well cover. The only pain in the butt is popping these little Christmas tree fittings for all these wiring harnesses, but that's not that big of a deal. You just pinch it with a set of pliers and push it through the hole. When you go, you can see where the motor mount sits down there. You got the three holes on the frame. Sorry, I'm really reaching over there. There's the three holes on the frame. And then you've got four down there for the motor mount. Right to the side of the engine block. What you want to do is get those three out that are on the frame, and then come in here with your, if you got an engine hoist, it's pretty easy. You grab this and set it up. I wrapped it and I made sure it went all the way around the back, so it's right across the bottom of the power steering pump and the bracket assembly, and just hooked it up here. And you don't even have to take the hood off. It'll clear. And once you jack it up about 3 or 4 inches, you'll have enough room to get those 4 bolts that are mounted to the base of the engine block down there. Once you get it off, you got to contend with this whole honking thing, the heat shield and this base plate. What I found was that worked for me was I got this spun around inside here to where these nuts were facing upward, so I could reach them from above. And what I did is I zapped those off with the air gun, and then I got the plate off. I was able to take the plate off and the heat shield. And once you do that, this thing rolls right out of here, like pretty darn easy. You can fit it right in there, no problem. Right through the wiring harness without even having to mess with it too much. And then you can turn it which way you need to, bring in your heat shield, reassemble it with your back bracket and the 2 nuts, then turn it into the proper position with the pin that's on the bottom here. It's hard to see, I got a crappy camera, but that pin right there will line up with a pinhole on the frame, and you can spin this thing into place with all your stuff on and mount it. You can lower the engine down with your engine hoist there, and put it together pretty easy. The reason I had to do this job was I was replacing these oil cooler lines, And let me tell you, that's the easiest way I found. I wish I would have known that ahead of time to remove this motor mount. I only found one other video on YouTube that showed that detail, but he didn't show how to get the engine up and all that. So this whole assembly was pretty easy to put in. Once that motor mounts out, you can route those oil cooler lines no problem through there, real easy. They come up here to a bracket, clip in there, and then you got your plastic covers. Retaining clip is underneath there, and the line just plugs in. And I did replace both of these fittings. They weren't terrible. They were, you know, 22 bucks a piece or something. But rather than to find out later they leak, that's what I did. But hopefully this video will help save somebody some time. I did not have to disconnect the steering shaft. I did not have to disconnect the front drive shaft right up by the oil filter. I was able to get this in no problem. But since I didn't know about the motor mount, when I went to take the other one off, I ended up cutting that into 4 pieces to wiggle out the pieces on the old one. But yeah, it would have been a lot easier if someone had a video like this kind of giving you a couple things. But this heat shield here gets in your way too, that mounts to that. And this is what this looks like. You know, you got 4, I think there's 5 screws that hold this on. And they're just the little ones. But other than that, everything else was pretty easy. It does take time, and you got to have patience, because it was rough for me in this garage. As you can see, I'm packed up against the boxes there, and I barely got the door to close on the garage. So I'll quit rambling and let you guys on to your day, but I just wanted to pass it along. You can remove it. It's pretty easy if you know those steps, and you can roll it right out, reassemble it down there with the heat shield and the backing plate, and then turn it into position, lower the motor down, and then you can go ahead and line up your bolts and snug those up. But that's it. This is probably the only video I'll post on YouTube, but I feel that it might help somebody. So thanks for watching.